Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Here's a day in the life of an adult man with no kids. Woke up kind of hungover, so I went back to sleep. Went out with some buddies from out of town last night. Just let the good times roll, you know? Didn't have to rush home for some babysitter who can only stay till friggin' 10. Not a lot in the fridge, so I went out for breakfast. I think I ate out like 5 or 6 times this week. No stress. I've got plenty of disposable income to enjoy my life. Quick moment to appreciate. I haven't been sick in a long time. If I had kids, I'd be sick all the time. Took a nice, peaceful, no crying and screaming from the backseat drive over to my sister's place. And it only took me 2 minutes to get out the door and in the car. It wasn't some friggin' whole ordeal. My car stays super clean. If I had kids, it'd be a disaster. Just mud stains and goldfish crackers crushed into the carpet. Brought some gifts for my niece and nephew. They cost me like $100 a year. Totally doable. They think I'm a rock star, and when the meltdowns begin, I just bounce out of there. Set up another date with Brittany. That's going well. She really likes hanging out with me, but she wants to come on my Thailand trip, so I don't know. We'll see. End of the day with my usual long walk alone in the forest, just sort of contemplating my existence and wondering if I'll regret my decisions in life. I think that's normal for everybody.
Oh no, where am I gonna go if TikTok gets banned? I don't know, nerd. Maybe the bar?
I'm just a big toasty cinnamon bun. I never want to leave this bed. Uh-oh. Gotta take a whiz. Think, man, think. Think. I better get up.
All right, everybody, thanks for jumping on this all hands. Who is this?
Oh, this is my corporate translator. He's here to translate all the corporate jargon into words that I can actually understand.
All right, I'm gonna have to align with HR to see if this...
What's he saying? He's saying he's upset by my presence.
I'm not upset, okay? I'm simply processing this information into a more digestible way.
Oh yeah, he's really upset.
Okay, let's just move forward with the meeting, shall we? So Q1 is in the books and we had a very strong showing. Now there are certainly some gaps within our processes that we're working strategically in order to align that should help us bridge those gaps in a really efficient way.
Translator, Q1 wasn't good and management is very upset about it.
That's not what I said, okay? There are certainly some gaps, but management is working lockstep in order to come up with strategic processes in order to alleviate these areas of deficiency.
They're planning layoffs.
No. I'm not saying that, okay? We're just developing ways to become a much leaner organization.
It's going to be 25% of the organization.
No.
Oh, you went on a trip? Show me all the cool photos you took. I'm a man. I took 0 photos. I have no proof of me going anywhere. I took one ironic selfie in front of a statue's wiener and I sent it to my friend group chat with the caption like, me as fuck or something. I'm a man.
I'm not an alcoholic, but my friends are. And I drink when they drink because I'm supportive like that.
It's called being a good friend. You know, if they want to drink on Monday night, I'm down. If they want to drink on Tuesday night, I'm also down. If they want to drink every night for the rest of our lives, I'm also down. But I'm no alcoholic. I'm just a supportive drinker.
You know why I pulled you over tonight?
Yeah, I got a pretty good idea. Hey, I got a big favor to ask you. You mind if I step out of the car for a minute?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Let's step back here.
Okay.
So you saw the lady in the passenger seat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's my wife, and the lady in the back seat. Did you see her?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though: are you married?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So that's the mother-in-law in the back, right? Those two got in a huge fight this morning. And the mother-in-law insisted we take her home right away. So that's what I'm trying to do, get her home. I'm worried they're going to make up and then, she's going to live with us another 6 months, right? So I got to get her home before those two make up, okay?
All right, so I'm going to give you a full police escort.
Okay.
I'm going to turn on the sirens, keep the lights on. By the glory of God, we will get you there. Now get in the car. Yep.
Because you never know when someone's racism is going to be helpful. I was at the grocery store and I was getting a single Red Bull. And I don't like Red Bull. This is not an ad for Red Bull. I only get it because it has the lowest amount of caffeine. I'm trying to wean myself off. I go to the register, older white woman, mid-40s. I said, hey, just want a Red Bull. She was like, oh, you like Red Bull? And I was like, I really don't. It tastes like lighter fluid. And she looks around and she looks at me and she was like, you know they got watermelon flavor, right? And I was like, you racist, unseasoned heathen. How dare you think I want a watermelon flavor Red Bull? Turns out this is actually delicious. This is sugar-free watermelon Red Bull. That lady was actually being very helpful. I still got her fired, you racist bitch, but very helpful. You never know.
Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foos Show!
Hey, what is up, everyone? I am Josie.
And I'm Steph.
Thank you all so very much for listening into the Foos Show. Remember to follow, like, and comment on our socials as @Foos Show. That's FOO Bar Show. And listen at FOOBarshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll keep fooing it up like a bunch of foos. Ain't that right, Steph?
That's right.
Steph, today's going to be a good one. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it's Martin Luther King Day and I don't have to go to work.
Woo!
Yeah. For all you poor... we're still putting out an episode because there's a bunch of people who have to go into work still. Like retail folk and restaurant folk and Starbucks folk. And but not me though. I'm gonna be chilling here at home. You're going on a hike again?
That's right.
So
and
you bought yourself some hiking boots, shoes or boots?
Boots.
Okay. Because you're getting into hikes now.
Well,
and that's how people die, by the way.
I've been going on hikes for many, many years, and ironically, I've never had the proper footwear. So for every single moment of my hiking experience, I've always dreaded it because I don't have any traction on my shoes.
Yeah, you slip.
Yeah, constantly. But I'm just like, I'll still go on the hike. I'll just get the shoes later, Cut to 4 years later, finally got myself a pair.
That's cool. Listen, it's not that I don't like hikes. I just don't know how to finish that sentence.
Okay. All right.
People die on hikes. Have you not seen those reels or TikToks of the people who can tell they're being stalked by a mountain lion or a bear? And obviously, you figure that they survived because somebody had to post the video, right? Unless it's found footage or something from this poor bastard who didn't make it out. But that's terrifying. I never want to find myself in that kind of situation. Also, particularly with the fires that have been going on. A lot of the wildfires moving east. A lot of the wildlife, is moving east.
Right. No, I totally get that. We are strategically picking something far east of where that's happening.
Where are you going hiking on Martin Luther King Day?
Mount Rubidoux, which ironically was almost set on fire last week.
For fuck's sake, Steph, what are you doing?
They put it out just in time.
Okay, so Mount Rubidoux, I think it's French. Is that on the way to Riverside or something?
It's in Riverside. Yeah,
it's in Riverside.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar. Yeah.
I haven't been there before. I just chose it so we can try something else.
Okay.
Because our usual spot is Shabarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rolling Heights.
Rolling Heights or City of Industry or Point of Hills?
That collective area. It's right across the street from Point of Hills Mall.
Is that mall? That is one of the saddest malls.
I mean,
it's the mall where they filmed one of the opening sequences in Back to the Future where Doc Brown gets shot by those Middle Eastern folk.
They also just had a reunion last year, and there was tons and tons of people
in October on Back to the Future Day.
Yeah. They dressed it up as the Twin Pines Mall, and
that's where it's held. Point of Hills Mall and City of Industry / Rolling Heights /
Point of Hills.
Point of Hills. Whatever.
Yeah. Because, Shabarm's...
I used to go to Shabarm quite a bit.
Yeah.
Back when I used to be an active fellow, when I used to ride my bike. It's really fun. The bike trails up there are really fun, especially if you like going downhill really, really, really fast without a helmet on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you're going to die. You probably will if you take a wrong turn.
The hardest part is just getting up to the top because it's extremely steep.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel like it's, pretty satisfying. It's a, good hike.
I think the most...
Not beginner. Well, I guess beginner level. You can do it. It's like 2 miles.
The most intimidating kind of animal you'll find, too, is maybe like a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what kind of like
There
big
was a
cats
lot
they
of
have
there was
there.
a lot of when we went up there was a lot of squirrels. There was a bunch of birds. I think it was too cold for the snakes to come out.
Oh, yeah. They're cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
However, last year, the last time I did the Claremont Loop, it's a 5-mile hike. We got attacked by these, I don't even know if they're murder hornets, but they were
what the fuck?
Freaking huge.
Okay.
They were probably like, I don't know, 2-3 inches big, like solid black, like murder hornet looking things.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the fucking legs and the dragonfly type wings.
Sure.
I don't know. For whatever reason, it decided that it was going to like swiftly follow us, and then we just start booking it. And it's loud too.
It thought you needed more exercise, Steph.
Yeah, going up a hill. It's
Look at
like
these
90 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like, what the fuck? And so
It told its friends, watch this.
and sure enough, it got to a certain point, and it backed off, and then
Yeah.
just went back to where it was.
Yeah.
And then that one was a little bit scary too, because we heard rattlers, all these rattlesnakes just
Mhm.
coming up, and then we even saw one. I was like, oh hell no! And then that was the day that I went on the deep dive about rattlesnakes.
What did you learn about rattlesnakes?
That the snake kits that you buy online are useless. It's
What do
not
you
gonna
mean?
it's not gonna suck the venom out, right? It's usually just like a plastic.
Didn't science
suction.
tell us that doesn't work anyway?
It does. Yeah, it doesn't work. But people still buy these like snake kits.
Sure.
All you have to do is just like call 911 and just sit there and wait for them to get to you.
What if you have no service? You're in the middle of nowhere kind of thing.
Then you move down to if you're still conscious,
Okay.
because there's a high likelihood that you're going to pass out.
Uh-huh.
But if you get to the hospital and they get the antivenom to you in time, you have a high likelihood of surviving.
Okay, it's
Like,
a lot of ifs, Steph.
It's not an
big if.
Yeah, it's not an instant death like we were all taught as a kid, though.
No.
Do you remember that video?
No, it's a slow, painful death.
Right, you're probably going to lose the limb.
Yeah.
But do you remember those videos growing up? And then they showed us like, here's a petri dish full of blood, and then they put the rattlesnake venom in it,
Yeah, and it
and it
coagulates.
just coagulated into like a giant
Just a jelly.
pocket of
Yeah.
It's like a puck of blood.
Right.
That does happen, but not to that scale, because that was such a small amount of blood with the same amount of venom that
The
they would-
proportions were off for sure.
So we were just like, we're instantly gonna die, but no,
But you
not
could.
likely. But yes, you could, but not really.
So
but yes, but
would
no.
you consider, Steph, just not going on this hike? Am I going to have a co-host next week?
I hope so.
Did you save the receipt on those hiking boots?
There's a receipt. There's a receipt.
Okay, because I'm going to need to return those for the extra cash. All right. Well, you know what? I hope you have a great time. I do. I really do.
Yeah, me too. I would like to come back alive and intact.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, all right. Well, we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, you are extra paranoid about me going on hikes lately.
I don't know, man. I don't see you fighting back. That's why.
I don't have a giant stick.
Maybe find one.
And then okay, snake aside, I don't know. Well, no, I don't think Mount Rubidoux has like mountain lions because it's pretty open.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about like coyotes?
It's possible.
A very pissed off raccoon, perhaps.
Should I just bring like treats so I can just distraction and then just run away?
No. What you do is you trip your friend as you run away. That's
I'm
what
not
you do.
gonna trip her.
I don't know. When the moment strikes, somebody's gonna have to be faster
I'm not
than the
gonna
other.
be that piece of shit. Ah!
Watch you trip her, and then she ends up surviving, And you're just like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah. No, that just sounds like every revenge plot in every single movie. That's like B-rated. It's like, remember that time that you pushed me and you thought I was dead.
Yeah, everybody thought she was dead.
But she never died on screen.
No, if you don't see her die on screen, then it's over for everybody else. But okay, well, have fun with that, Steph. I'll be here chilling and
internally panicking.
Yeah, a little bit. Steph, I got a food story. I always like to open, not always, but when I find a good food story, I like to share it.
Oh, yes, let me know.
So there's a pizzeria over in Norwich, Norfolk, and that's over in jolly old England. There's a pizzeria that's charging $125, I guess, pounds, if we're talking England, for a standard Hawaiian to deter customers from choosing the controversial pineapple topping. So this place is called Lupa Pizza in Norwich, Norfolk, and it has made their opinion on the topping choice very clear by slapping the hefty price tag for the dish on their Deliveroo menu. So the menu description reads, yeah, for 125 pounds, you can have it. Order the champagne too. Go on, you monster. And when asked why they decided to charge such a large fee, the owner's answer was simple. They hate pineapple on pizza. Now, I can understand why people enjoy it. It's a sweet topping on an otherwise savory dish. Yes?
Yes, it's sweet and savory.
Yes. I like what the chef says here. Head chef Quinn Gianoran said, I love a pina colada, but pineapple on pizza? Never. I'd rather put a bloody strawberry on one and then that tropical menace. Co-owner Francis Wolf said, I absolutely loathe pineapple on a pizza. Head chef Quinn agreed, saying pretty much what I just said. The team at the restaurant, which opened up in June, have creative specials like beef shin, rendang, and garlic whipped tofu, but pineapple is where they draw the line.
Why do you even have that on the menu? Why have that on the menu?
The reason for that, Steph, is because so many people order it. And so they don't want to be like, oh no, they want to be able to have it available for their customers, but if you really want it, you better be prepared to dish out the 125.
That's fucking bullshit.
So yeah, and this just on this article, it reminds us that despite his name, the ham and pineapple combo was believed to have been invented in Canada in 1962 by Sam Panopoulos, a Greek immigrant inspired by the sweet and savory tang of Chinese American dishes. It coincided with a fascination with tiki culture, which followed Hawaii becoming an American state in 1959, with canned pineapple becoming a popular imported item. So he was just, jumping on the craze of pineapples now that Hawaii was part of the U.S. And him looking down on the good old U.S., adding another state, he's like, I need to capitalize on this with my Canadian friends, and called it pineapple pizza. Now, it's very controversial. I could not care less.
It's good.
But so is Taco Bell, right? Just imagine being an Italian and then they just they just start bastardizing a very popular dish that your people invented. And, it's kind of the same feeling as a Mexican when people, say that Taco Bell is Mexican food.
But it's not.
Well, ironically, Steph, and I think we've covered this on the show before, it was invented in Mexico, the hard shell and all that, but it was a very niche thing that a lot of Mexicans kind of ended up just not taking to it. But when Taco Bell opened up here in the States, it just went nuts, the whole Tex-Mex thing. So, yes, it was invented in Mexico, but yes, the Mexicans ended up disowning it.
But is it still advertised as Mexican food, though? Or it's
yeah.
only Taco Bell? Like, Taco Bell is only Taco Bell.
I know. And it has transcended, I think, at this point in 2025, Mexican food. It's like I have said this before, it's like the Twinkie. It's not just a pastry. It's a Twinkie.
It's a Twinkie.
Yeah. So Taco Bell is Taco Bell. However, many circles of cuisine fanatics will categorize it as Mexican food because it has the basic ingredients. You know, your protein, your beans, your tortilla, and your maybe cheese. But the way they do it is very odd. Of course, you know, the hard shell is not something that is popularized in Mexico. The shredded cheese, the shredded yellow cheese, no less. That's not Mexican. The shredded lettuce and diced tomatoes. No, get salsa. And lettuce isn't even a part of the thing. I mean, maybe on a sope? Maybe. But not in a taco.
Every time your mom makes me a sope, it has lettuce in it.
And that's why I said maybe a sope. Have you not been paying attention, Steph?
No, because you're distracting me and changing the subject to Taco Bell versus the pineapple pizza.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah, that sucks.
You know, I bet somebody's going to buy it anyway. Someone's going to be like, fuck you, I'm buying it. You're going to make it.
Yeah, and they will profit hand over fist and laugh all the way to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a win-win at that point, but...
I feel like there's something like there's close to 50% like half. You either love pineapple or you hate pineapple on pizza. There's no in between. There's not like, yeah, you know, if I don't like it, I'll just pick it off type of person.
You know, in my contrarian ways, I've developed a brand of, you know, being very anti-pineapple on pizza. In reality, I could not care less. But
yeah, you do care because I think it was last year or the year before.
Yeah.
All I wanted for my birthday was a pineapple pizza. You didn't give me that. You gave me a pizza, and then that pizza gave me food poisoning.
And what did we learn?
That you should give the birthday girl the goddamn pineapple pizza when she asks for it.
All right. Okay. All right.
Well, you're always telling us not to be a dick. And you were a dick that day. You were a dick. I didn't even ask for anything big. It was just one pineapple pizza. Just so I can enjoy it.
Okay.
I hope you feel good about yourself.
It's not that bad.
You're such a dick.
Don't be a dick, everybody. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Do you have anything to talk about here before we get into geeking out?
Yeah. This guy's a dick.
I think we covered that already, Steph.
No.
What are you drinking there? What's today's drink of choice for good old Steph? Why is it in an Asian glass thing?
It's because this is I'm
sake?
reusing a sake cup. It's not sake in here. It's a soju and Yakult.
What? That's a thing?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? It's just soju and Yakult?
Yeah. It's like one of those 2 ingredient drinks where you can only describe it as such, like a Jack and Coke or a Jack and Ginger. Tastes like Yakult with the peach flavor of the soju.
Not gonna lie, that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
It doesn't
It's a
suck.
very popular drink.
Where?
Korea.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed, but I can see the appeal.
It's nice. Yeah. You get your probiotics and you get drunk.
That's a twofer.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that's been bartending with Steph, I guess.
You're welcome.
Your regular mixologist there, Steph. Are you ready for Geeking Out?
Yeah.
Well, Steph, there's a rumor out there that claims that World War Hulk's movie is going to be in development over at Marvel Studios. Now, we've wondered if there was going to be a chance that we'd be getting a World War Hulk's movie for a while now. Part of the story was explored in 2017's Thor Ragnarok, which was borrowing heavily from Planet Hulk. You know, that scene where Hulk is fighting with Thor. That was a whole big part of that. But Bruce Banner later returned to Earth as Smart Hulk. And so we're clearly not going to be getting a straightforward adaptation. This article is from Geek Tyrant. And so this could be why the new rumor about Hulk's direction in World War Hulk's feature could be true. Apparently, She-Hulk, attorney at law, laid some groundwork for that. The next month's Captain America Brave New World will also give us some groundwork for that leading up to it. Of course, now we have a Red Hulk and shit like that. But industry scooper at My Time to Shine H has made the claim, saying, I can confirm now that a World War Hulks movie is in development. This is promising and suggests the movie will be part of the Mutant Saga. So that's coming too. There's also been some chatter, Steph, and I think this is probably even more exciting to me, of a Hulk versus Wolverine movie, because that was a whole comic book event.
Yep.
So maybe the MCU's new Logan will be tasked by Department H with taking down the Incredible Hulk, perhaps. Either way, World War Hulks could make for an epic movie, and an announcement being made soon at this year's San Diego Comic-Con or D23 could be a possibility. So they're saying stay tuned for updates.
We got to get into Comic-Con.
Yeah, you've been to San Diego Comic-Con in the last few years. What was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
I dropped you off, and me and Josh just roamed around downtown San Diego, and that was a blast. Like, I wasn't even mad that I couldn't get into Comic-Con.
You guys had so much to do.
We had so much going on, so much to drink. Sorry, excuse me. And I don't know. I don't remember much about it, but it was fun. I remember having a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Number 2 on my thing here, Q. Rumor claims that Ewan McGregor will reprise his role of Obi-Wan Kenobi in Ahsoka Season 2. So many of you are thinking, shouldn't he be dead by this point in the timeline? Well, yeah, he can come back as a Force ghost, as we saw Anakin come back in that kind of other plane for those couple episodes. So a few days ago, it was revealed that after the 2023 loss of actor Ray Stevenson, who played Baylan Skoll in Star Wars Ahsoka, the role was recast with Game of Thrones' star Rory McCann. As the wheels are turning on the show's second season, an insider has given us a few new bits of rumored news to look forward to as the story expands. According to Christian Harloff, Hayden Christensen is expected to have a pretty big role in Ahsoka Season 2. The insider also reveals that Ariana Greenblatt will return as young Ahsoka, but the biggest news is this. Ewan McGregor will reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi. While a forced ghost appearance is possible, Greenblatt's presence suggests that we're getting in even more flashbacks to the events of the Clone Wars. Ooh. I remember watching Clone Wars, and it speaks to a specific few episodes where, if we remember, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka encountered the Mortis gods in that animated series. So showrunner Dave Filoni recreating that here makes perfect sense. It could probably flash back into something like that. So after all, many of the fans turning into Ahsoka won't necessarily be familiar with the animated adventures that played out in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. So with those events of those shows, shows that Filoni must find a way to ensure his deep dive into franchise lore that makes sense for everyone. So this is just a way to call back to something that maybe not everybody's aware of if you didn't watch the Clone Wars. That was an awesome few episodes, by the way, when they were meeting the gods, because they were there was a fight within those gods. It was a bit of a power struggle, kind of like a yin and yang happening there. Oh, okay. But talking at Star Wars Skeleton Crew premiere at Disneyland last month, Filoni shared an exciting update about how work is progressing on Ahsoka Season 2. So he said, I'm so well into that as well. I've been writing it, and I'm still the single writer on it. And so I've been enjoying doing that, but it's a challenge, of course, and working some of these arcs through has been a challenge, and making sure that it's all going to come out in a way that I think is going to be exciting for fans. I know that they're interested in where some of the things I developed in season 1. I'm pretty happy with it. Love working with Rosario Dawson, so I can't wait to get back to that. Star Wars Celebration takes place in Japan this April, and we're expecting new details about both Ahsoka Season 2 and The Mandalorian and Grogu to be shared during that event. So, what's up, Steph? Are you looking forward to Season 2 Ahsoka?
I am. The first season was so well done.
I thought so.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
I really thought so.
Yeah.
The return of Anakin too. Even though you can tell he's aged a little bit, and they didn't try de-aging him, I thought it was still okay. I think if they
That was
tried
fine.
de-aging him, it would have been like, I don't know,
Like
kinda
what they
fake.
did with Luke.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, we get it. They're supposed to be young, but you don't have to de-age them.
Right. He still played it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that in Obi-Wan too. He came out in that Anakin Skywalker when he was kind of teaching him. They were sparring.
Yeah.
And he could still kick ass, and he did that again in Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be exciting to watch this. Now, if you remember from season 1, Ahsoka, she was on her way to a different galaxy altogether, with probably different rules. Like,
she hopped on those? What are those whales called? Those hyperspace whales?
Yeah, the hyperspace whales. I don't know what they're called. I forget.
Somebody is screaming.
Somebody's
at us right
screaming
now.
at the
Josh.
radio right now. Yeah.
Josh, what are they called right now?
No.
No.
But yeah, it's exciting. So it just kind of leads me to think: does the Force only exist within this galaxy? Is the Force like exclusive to the galaxy that they came from? Because as we know, every major Star Wars project starts with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that tells us that it's reachable. Like, we can be part of the same universe right now. It was just a long ass time ago in a very far away place. So it leads me to kind of just guess: is the Force only existent in this galaxy because of something happening within like the center of this galaxy?
The midichlorians in your blood, okay?
That react to the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, that make you sensitive to the Force.
So
that the galaxy
if
puts
we're
out.
still going with this whole midichlorian theory, then maybe they don't have that outside the galaxy.
Because they're whole different races or whatever.
Species and stuff
or
like that. The water's different.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, yeah, it could be one of those two things. Does the Force even exist, number one, in this galaxy? And do midichlorians exist within those life forms? And if they do, the absence of the Force would negate the need for the midichlorians to react to anything to begin with. I think that it's more magic. I mean, that's what we saw from those witches, right?
Yeah, they're magic. And they're lightsaber-wielding wizards.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
The maths do not math.
They don't math. So anyway, that's all I got. What do you got, Steph?
Harley Quinn season 5 is
that came out, right?
on Max, 10 episodes, and they will be perusing Metropolis, doing what they do, so they're no longer in Gotham.
Because they fucked it up. It's no man's land, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, at least in right now in Harley Quinn, from where we left it.
Well, yeah, because Harley pretty much destroyed everything.
Well, it wasn't Harley. It was... she did have something to do with it, but there was other variables at play.
There was a giant Bane, and he was just like, to all the buildings, and then... oh, yeah, you all forgot about that.
Yeah. Do you think that... well, obviously, Kite Man is a spin-off of this Harley. But what I found, what we found out during Kite Man, though, is a lot of the voices were changed. A lot of the actors who played certain voices in Harley Quinn were not reused for Kite Man. I wonder if that's going to be like how they're going to treat that. Like, are those voices now the voices Like where contracts expired and then just found new people that can kind of play those roles again. That's interesting. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Another thing that I have, and it's from Reddit.
Huh.
On the subreddit UFO, which apparently, like, people have been like, it's not UFOs anymore, it's UAP, right?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
So apparently there was this whole thing, and there was this News Nation exclusive from the BBC that came out saying that there was videos of a spacecraft landing in a grassy field, but it was like the
what?
Here's what's happening. They're trying to debunk the video, saying that it is an egg coated in green.
Okay.
Being dropped from, twine or something like that, and then just
fuck?
rolling around.
A spacecraft the size of a regular egg that's in the refrigerator?
So there's a screenshot here. So you can see it says News Nation exclusive. It's a grassy field. This kind of right in the middle of it is actually like a kind of blurry lever. And when you actually watch the video, you can see like string attached to this, what looks like a
stick,
a ship.
Okay.
And the ship is being lowered to the ground, and then it kind of just rolls off, and then you can see like the twine. But people are saying that's an egg because supposedly only this 5-second video was released, but it's just like, why only the 5 seconds? If you're actively videotaping this, why wouldn't you videotape the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
And then, what did you only have time to get this?
Ran out of battery.
Yeah, right?
By the way, anybody who operates at 1% battery life, don't believe them. Just don't believe them. They're bad people.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Let me try to play this thing. Oh, is it going to play? No, it's not going to play. This is
gonna play.
No, because that
looks fake as shit, though.
Right?
Yeah.
What proof? Mulch in the... Okay, this from user mulch-independence 105. What proof is it going to take for the public to believe in the subject?
Tangible proof?
He says, I think that last night people thought they were getting a tour around a craft in a hangar. I was actually impressed with last night's underwhelming video. It's more than I expected. An important milestone for the truth, however weird that is. I'm getting the feeling that this is all planned and selected. Whistleblowers, information that's released. The people in charge are rolling this out slowly, and people obsessed with this subject don't even know how to take it.
Okay.
But it's just like, oh my God, I was trying to find the video, but like all of this stuff is just like, I really want you to see it. Fuck.
This is great.
Yeah, this is great pod, because this is what happens when I'm not ready. Anyway, here. Yes, sir laughs a lot. Here's what he wants to know. Here. We actually learned a great deal of new information from the News Nation special. Let's focus on that. Multiple ex-Special Forces members confirming on camera that they witnessed sonic assets firsthand. Sonic operators can connect to these objects. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But apparently they have a lot of people talking about this particular video on camera. And these are like legit military people.
Are we going to die, Steph?
But, I mean, we all are. But it's just the video makes it look like an egg. Like it just looks like an egg. That's what it looks like. Come on. All right, fine.
Okay.
You're such a dick, dude.
Listen, I've been waiting for this video for a few minutes now.
Okay, well, I don't know. I can't find it anymore.
But it looks like somebody just pulling an egg across a yard of grass. Yes?
Yes, But it's just like, it's only just a few seconds.
Are you looking it up? UFO egg video.
There it is.
All right.
News Nation.
All right.
Hold on. I'm trying to skip it.
Skip
It's
the.
sponsored.
We're not sponsored by.
News
Okay.
Nation has independently obtained.
Oh, here it is. Here it's landing. It's purposely on a hook so you can see it like being detached. That's a fucking egg, dude.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line. We're told the craft is about 20 feet long. The egg suspended in a cradle. And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo into land. Let's freeze frame here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP.
Oh yeah, incredible risk.
Look at how perfectly smooth the craft is. No markings at all. And no visible means of propulsion or way to see inside. Watch how it rolls, almost graceful as it hits the ground, despite being wrapped in the ropes and canvas from the cradle as it's dropped for pickup. The UAP's final destination still unknown.
333,000 views on YouTube. For fuck's sake. Let's read some of these comments.
Okay. Top comment. This is 100% real. Trust me, I'm an expert.
Woo!
Oh, jeez.
What else?
How come nobody is discussing the potential of a giant chicken running around? This feels like an April Fool's joke several months too early.
Yeah.
The helicopter returned 30 minutes later to retrieve the 2 slices of bacon.
See, that's what I enjoy, the comments. And the internet just goes undefeated.
The eggs files.
Very well. Okay.
You're welcome. That was worth the wait. You're welcome.
That was worth the payoff. God damn it, Steph.
Yeah.
You've done it again.
If you guys want to see it on YouTube, it's called UAP Recovery Video Shows Egg-Shaped, quote, object.
Were you?
Oop.
What was I?
Oh,
Is
that's
it
just
more of
No,
it?
that's just the next one.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a whole thing. You're welcome. And thank you, Reddit. Thank you for letting me read your comments. Even though I didn't ask. But
whatever. It's public.
I cited.
It's public.
Front pages of the internet.
Drugs are bad.
Steph, is that gonna do it for? Is that gonna do it for Geeking Out? Whoops!
Whoa!
Is that gonna do it for Geeking Out?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, we still don't have a theme song for what is it called?
This is fuck.
Here's what I would do.
Here's what I would do.
But I don't know. At a certain point, I'm going to stop calling this a placeholder.
Man, see, like, you don't even know, man. It's like you're born into this world, man. And you got it's like this, man, the dust and the wind, man. Or like a dang old candle in the wind, man. It don't matter, man. It's all the oldies, old time. You know what I think, man? Like that dang old, I think, therefore you are, man.
Well, that's what we tell ourselves, isn't it, Boomhauer?
Word. All right. So in this edition of Here's What I Would Do, we got a couple letters. This time it's from guys, Steph. Last
really?
week it was a couple ladies. This week we got a couple guys who wrote in. Letter number 1. Dear Foos, big fan of the show. I'm writing to you guys from Riverside, and I'm hoping you can help me figure something out before I make a huge mistake. I've been with my girlfriend for almost 2 years, and we've had a great relationship. Recently, though, she started dropping some serious hints about getting engaged. Like, she's sending me pictures of rings and tagging me in wedding posts on Instagram. I know she's excited about the idea of us getting married, and I can see myself marrying her, someday. The problem is I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. I want to take that next step when it feels right, but not because I'm feeling pressured. But I also don't want her to think that I'm stringing her along or that I don't see a future with her. How do I talk to her about this without starting a fight or making her think that I don't care? You guys always keep it real, so hit me with the truth. What's the move here? Sincerely, Carlos in Riverside, California.
909.
951, I think, at that point.
Did they split it? Is it split?
Oh, it's a long time ago.
That joke was from like 20 years ago.
The 909 was pretty much anything east of like what, the 57?
The 57, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a dump, and it was just meth central. And then we moved there. And then we moved to Ontario.
No, they cleaned it up though.
But it's
it's all cleaned up.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as it was back when I was a kid, that's for sure. Like whenever we had to visit my godparents in Ontario,
You just start shaking.
yeah. Like, oh God, please. No, and it's not so bad now. But anyway, Riverside and Carlos, what do you think of a situation, Steph?
Here's what I would do. I would do nothing, change nothing, just wait 10 years and then pop the question.
Are you... Where is this coming from, Steph? I can't imagine from...
Nowhere.
Steph, what are you trying to say here?
Nothing. That's what I would do.
No, like seriously, because he's obviously she wants to get married, or she at least wants to get engaged. My thought is, Carlos, you probably want to start shopping around for a ring. Obviously, you see yourself with her at some point. There's nothing telling you that you can't be engaged for a long amount of time. We have friends who have been engaged for years.
Yeah.
We were engaged for 2 years before we got married. Yes?
Yeah, because the whole thing is like we had to save money, and then
the financial situation, even though it still is this kind of way, it was just we were not in a position to move forward with that. But in 8 years engagement, and then engaged for 2 years, and then on the 10th anniversary is when the wedding happened, at least from our perspective, from what we did here. 2 years, she feels like she's ready. Obviously, I think she's one of those girls that is using her biological clock is ticking excuse of,
not necessarily. Sometimes they might just want that reinsurance. Like, hey, I'm not going to go anywhere, but it's not right for me. I don't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, we're good right now. Like, what's the problem? Like, one person is trying to rush the other.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Totally. So how should he approach her? How should he sit her down? And obviously maybe it should just be in a casual type of setting. Obviously do it in public, man, because if she gets crazy, you want people to witness what's going down here. But, romantic dinner somewhere, get her liquored up, and then, no, maybe don't get her liquored up.
Here's what
I would do.
Here's what I would do. A different approach is like, here's the 5-year plan, right? Here's what's going to happen in 5 years.
Oh,
yeah.
Set up a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah.
And be like, this is the timeline I was thinking of.
Right.
That way it gives her some reassurance.
Always includes her.
Totally. Of course. Yeah. Because in maybe 5 years, he'll be emotionally, financially in a good spot to prepare to get engaged and then set up a wedding.
Right.
That sounds reasonable.
PowerPoint presentation. You can make it serious and funny at the same time, which I always love comedy first.
Yeah, of course. I think it would lighten the mood.
Yeah.
Like maybe invite her over, have, you're going to watch a movie before the movie starts. I did prepare a PowerPoint presentation about our relationship and where I think it's headed. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
And then go from there. And then, I guess what's not on this letter is really kind of important for me to know to suggest the right amount of time. But I guess you would know best, Carlos. Is that timeline pretty accurate? Because it says here that you've been with her for almost 2 years. If you don't think that you're ready yet, be honest with yourself. When do you think you'll be ready? What are what's within reach, and what seems realistic does that 5-year mark sound pretty good? And then what if shit goes down and changes between then and the 5-year mark? I don't know.
Right.
Anything can really happen, but maybe it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
At that point. Because, I mean, shit, we went 8 years before we got engaged and nothing happened.
Yeah.
We were fine. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is...
You know what? Your mom sat us down and she had the conversation for us. She's just like, you guys have been together for 5 years and it's time for you guys to get married and I need some grandchildren. And I was like, oh my God.
All right, well, the
here-
grandchildren
here we
isn't
go.
happening, but sure, we can use the tax write-off.
Right.
Yeah. No, and we had a banging ass friggin' wedding. We got Metalachi.
Hell yeah,
It was a concert. That was dope. So Carlos, I'd say take the comedy route with this. I'd say, build that PowerPoint presentation once you know what your timeline looks like, and it'll keep her at bay without her feeling left out or like you're not listening to her wishes. It's just not going to happen right now,
Yeah.
So if you're down, I'm down kind of thing, but it's just give me a little bit more time because I'm not really ready for it. And you can use those excuses, maybe not emotionally, maybe don't use that excuse,
right.
But like from a financial perspective,
Maybe you're not quite ready for it because you're not in the right career. Maybe you're trying to finish school.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Reasonable, tangible, objective kinds of things that, once you reach your goals and once those goals materialize, you're totally going to be ready to pop that question. So, yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck, Carlos. Let us know how it goes, I guess. Dear Foos, we broke up. No. All right. So letter number 2 for today. It's Matt from Anaheim writing in. What's up, Foobar Show? Love tuning in while I'm working late nights here in Anaheim. And I've got a problem and I need some advice. I've been sober for 6 months after a long battle with alcohol. Good job. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done, but I'm not proud. But I'm proud of for how far I've come. The issue is I feel like I'm losing my friends because of it. My crew still likes to go out to bars and parties, and while they're supportive, I can tell things aren't the same. They don't invite me out as much anymore, and when they do, I feel like the odd man out drinking soda while they're knocking back some beers. I've even heard a couple of them say I'm not fun anymore. Oh, that's sad. It's killing me because I've known these guys forever, but I can't go back to that life. How do I keep my friendships alive without putting myself in a bad spot? Or do I just accept that people grow apart? Thanks, Foos. You guys rock. Sincerely, Matt in Anaheim. I think that a part of you needs to accept that people do grow apart. You're doing something good for yourself. When people go to AA, they go to AA not only to talk about their issues, not that I've ever been to AA, but just based on what I know about AA, but it's supposed to be like a community type of support system. You have a sponsor who's always who's there. Like if you think you're going to fall off the wagon, that you can call. There's little kinds of rewards that you get, like you get those chips with the amount of years or whatever that you've been sober as like a reminder that, you have come this far. There's no reason why you can't go further, those kinds of things. And, if you have that community kind of cheering you on and supporting you, then yeah, you can totally keep going with this. Now, am I saying that your friends are bad people? By no means are they bad people. Now, if they're making you drink or making you feel bad for not drinking, that's where the problem is with these folks. And I'm not sure what's going on here, but it seems like some of them are saying you're not fun anymore. Why? Because you weren't acting like a fool for their entertainment? Because maybe you were just, you were the butt of the joke? Like, what kind of fun are they talking about here, too? So there's that aspect of it. It's just kind of like when our friends get married, too. They're not the same people, especially when they start having kids. understandably, they're not going to be around. They're not going to be as fun. The life has escaped their eyes.
Well, no, because they've now taken on a different type of responsibility that they have to experience for themselves.
Which is like your sobriety.
Yeah. And so if you do want to continue hanging out with your friends because you've known them for so long, you might suggest hanging out maybe with them individually. Mm-hmm. Which isn't such a bad thing. Maybe the group setting is not the correct setting.
Yeah.
And then that way they can get to know you maybe a little bit more on a personal level.
And what's to say you can't just be like the designated driver? And I mean, everybody should appreciate a good designated driver.
Yeah. And then I feel like, having that conversation with them, like, this is really serious. I need you guys to take a look at this.
I was falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, maybe they don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, there is a level of immaturity with that. And I get it. I was young. I had some friends who said, I'm not smoking anymore, or I'm not drinking anymore. And me just to kind of bust their balls and be like, oh man, it used to be fun and shit like that. I mean, I've been known to be that guy, but at the end of the day, I'm busting their balls, but I didn't really mean it. They probably didn't either. They're probably just trying to crack each other up. So I guess you would know them best. You've known them for so long. Do you think that they really mean that you're not fun anymore? Or are they just kind of cracking a throwaway joke for a quick chuckle at your expense? Mm-hmm. I guess it's depends on the situation. But at the same time, maybe you don't throw these friends away, but maybe embrace a different group of friends who embrace the sobriety life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that either.
And then, hats off to you because more and more people are getting sober these days and, they're taking a good health approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me, though.
But yeah, we definitely support your sobriety because that is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it had to have been so bad that you were destroying your life. That's what differentiates an alcoholic from somebody who drinks. An alcoholic or even a drug addict, it becomes a problem when it starts affecting your job, your relationships with people you love. That's when it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm. Your overall mental and physical health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can be a functional alcoholic, but because of the definition of the word, it's kind of an oxymoron. But obviously you couldn't be, but that's not your fault. And more power to you for identifying that and turning to sobriety. So don't let up, but maybe find another group of friends and then every now and then just hang out with these folks. And like Steph said, maybe individually, maybe not as a group, because you see how they act as a group. They want to have fun. They want to go drink. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
They're young people. They want to go mingle. So yeah, I think that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Thanks, Matt, from Anaheim. Oh, look. We have Pluto, our dog.
Oh, Pluto
wanting to be
dog.
on the podcast. Yeah, you can just have a seat over there, Plute. He's a good dog. He's a Belgian Shepherd Malinois. Is this his first appearance on the Foo Bar Show?
No, he's been here for quite some time.
Pluto over here.
Look, there he is. There he is.
For those watching the video, this is Pluto.
With his little frosting beard.
With his
because
face.
he's 7 years old. There you go.
Man, these are good. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah. So for whoever has written in, the 4 of you so far, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, we'd like to follow up. Maybe it'll be the tail end of our, what's this called?
Season.
Here's what I would do.
Here's what I would do.
Yeah.
Man, see, like, you don't even know, man. It's like you're born into this world, man. And you got it's like this, man, the dust and the wind, man. Or like the dang old candle in the wind, man. It don't matter, man. It's all the oldies, old time. You know what I think, man? Like them dang old, I think, therefore you are, man.
Well, that's what we tell ourselves, isn't it, Boomhauer?
Well, I think that's going to do it for today there, Steph.
That'll do it.
Now, next week, we're going to NAM, the National Association for Music Merchants. What do you want, Pluto?
We'll be right there.
He wants
Hold
attention.
on. Hold on.
You want to close the door because he's just going to keep whimpering. Oh, my God. Anyway, while you do that, we're going to go to the NAM convention in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center. So our next podcast is going to rely heavily on that. The day prior, we're going to be over at Disneyland. Steph hasn't been at Disneyland in like 12 years, Steph? 12 years. And it was a bad experience, I think, for both of us. It was fun. I had a good time just because I was with Steph. You know, we were hanging out at Disneyland and stuff, but we probably went, why don't you close the door? How about that? Why don't you close the door?
He's opening it.
Okay, he's opening it. Where was I? Oh, yeah, but it was like during the Christmas winter time, and everybody and their mom literally went. There was just babies and strollers everywhere. You couldn't walk without bumping into somebody. It was a disaster. The lines were long as shit.
It was not fun.
It was not fun. Since then, you know, they've put in the Star Wars thing, the Avengers stuff. California Adventure has really come a long way since then too.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward. I mean, I went last year to Disneyland because we got in. My bass player got us in because of his dad. His dad works at Disneyland and was able to get us in. Same thing this year, but this time we're able to bring Steph along. And so I'm curious to see what your experience is going to be like going into it, not during the holidays.
Yeah, we'll see.
You don't sound very excited.
I just... I don't want to spend like 6 hours just waiting in line.
Yeah, lines blow.
And I get it. It's to be expected in Southern California. Like, no matter where you go, what theme park, there's just going to be lines. But like Disneyland is unbelievably known for its long lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we'll circle back next week and see how that goes. Now I gotta say that I'm pretty sad that my Rams are out of contention for the Super Bowl, but I think that I was just pretty happy that they made it this far. I didn't think they would make it. I didn't think they would win last week or on Monday when they played during the wild card game. I thought they were going to be eliminated there. At this point,
was that with the Vikings?
Yeah, and
the Vikings.
Yeah, at this point, it just kind of felt like they were playing with house money. It's just like, I'm just kind of happy to be here kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They were beaten by a better team, the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a much better record. They made it close. I thought that the snow that was going down in the stadium over in Philly was kind of an equalizer for the Philadelphia Eagles' running game. But what I didn't consider was that the offense, the LA offense, was just going to become just a bunch of butterfingers and drop the ball and, you know, fumble it quite a few times where the Eagles capitalized on that. So, kudos. It was a good season. It was an all right season, actually. It was pretty mediocre, if you ask me. But the fact that the Rams made it this far, I'm proud of them. Now, on the other hand, I was also rooting for the Lions. The Detroit Lions had an outstanding season. Nobody saw this coming. And unfortunately, they were beaten as well yesterday.
Oh, my God. I heard about that.
By the Washington Commies. And
they're not commies.
I call them the Commies. Now,
they're not commies.
On Saturday morning, I was a Lions fan.
We're all Lions fans because we wanted the Lions to win.
Well, they're in the same conference as the Rams, so of course I'm going to champion my Rams. But now that that's not happening, today I am a Commies fan, and I really hope that they go all the way with this. And we'll see what happens on the other side of things, because let me see. I think I had a bracket pulled up here. So it's Kansas City Chiefs beat the Texans. So they're going to be playing the Buffalo Bills, who beat the Ravens today. And on the other side of things, it's going to be the Commies versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Birds.
The Birds. And I don't know, Steph. I'm hoping that it's a Bills Commanders Super Bowl.
What is your take, real quick, on the conspiracy on the color of the Super Bowl logo.
I think there's something to it.
Yeah?
I do think there's something to it because it's too much coincidence happening year after year where the teams playing in the Super Bowl are the colors of the Super Bowl logo that of course has been circulating for months now.
So the Super Bowl logo this year, the colors are red and gold.
Which those colors belong to the Commanders
or the Chiefs.
So maybe a Chiefs Commanders? Or maybe the Commanders, because that's just red and gold, or like a burgundy and gold.
Yeah.
Maybe it just signifies that they will win or go all the way.
And then the Bills.
The Bills have a little bit of red in there, but it's mostly a blue team.
It's blue.
Yeah.
They're mostly blue and white.
Yeah. Their uniforms.
Right.
Blue on white. Yeah. The Texans, I thought, had a fair chance, but, it's against the Chiefs. So it was the Texans against the refs, really.
Imagine Buffalo Bills with the upset. Just take the whole thing. It's like, oh!
Which I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
When was the last time they won a Super Bowl?
The Bills?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Let's see.
I think it's been quite some time, like 20 years or something like that.
Let's see. Superb Owl wins. The Bills won 2 league championships in 64 and 65, and while playing in the NFL after the merger of the AFL and NFL in 1970, they appeared in a record 4 consecutive Super Bowls, losing on each occasion from 91 to 94. So they've not won.
Okay. For like...
They've never won a Super Bowl, pretty much. They've won league championships before the merger of the AFL and the NFL. So the league as we know it today, they've never won a Super Bowl. But Josh Allen has been a force to reckon with. Actually, all of the quarterbacks involved in the 4 teams that are left so far are freaking awesome. So these next few games are going to be exciting. They're just going to be wild. The 2 games that we're going to get next week are going to be really, really good.
When are the games? Monday, Thursday?
No, we're not seeing weekday games anymore.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, NFL games, because I don't know the exact times. I know when they play, but here, pulling it up. So we're gonna get Sunday, January 26th, Commanders versus Eagles at 12 p.m. Pacific. And then Sunday, the 26th, that same day, once that game is done with, it's Bills Chiefs at 3:30 p.m. Pacific.
And then
back to back.
Whoever wins between those 2 teams go to Super Bowl.
And then the Super Bowl, and then they take a week off for the Pro Bowl. That's taking place in Orlando, Florida this year. And then the week later is the Superb Owl on February 9th.
Where
there's been the commissioner's been talking about taking away a week of the playoffs and adding another week in the regular season. If you ask me, the only thing that needs to be done is adding another bye week throughout the entire league so that the Superb Owl takes place on the same weekend as President's Day. It's just a week after February 9th. And if they did that, we can have Super Bowl Monday. It can be Super Bowl Monday, fucking President's Day. It doesn't have, it doesn't.
You don't have to create another holiday. It's already there.
Yeah, and everybody doesn't have to be calling. Businesses would not flourish, but they wouldn't be burdened with people calling out sick the Monday after Super Bowl because they're shit-faced.
Yeah.
From partying.
It's a national pastime. It really is.
Anyway.
We need that Monday off.
We do. We do need that Monday off. Or businesses just need to understand that the production's just not going to be there that day. So, quit bitching about it.
Half day Monday. At best.
The latter half, because you want people to sleep in, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be fully functional after 4 p.m. on Monday.
Right. If that. Just give them the day off, man.
At that point.
But yeah, man. So it's going to be an exciting next 3 weeks until we see the end of the NFL. For those who listen to this show for geeking, you could have tuned out, but I think I can hear a lot of people unsubscribing as we speak. But we used to be a sports podcast, so why now? Why now, guys? Anyway, thank you all so very much for listening into the Fubar Show. Remember to follow, like, and comment on our socials at FubarShow.com. At Fubar Show. That's FOO Bar Show. And listen at FOOBarshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. I've been Josie.
And I'm Steph.
Signing off, saying, and I really mean it, don't be a dick.
Fuck, man. Thank you, guys.
Two Texans die and go to hell. Beelzebub meets them in the waiting room to tell them how miserable their life's going to be, and he goes in there and he sees that they're celebrating, they're happy, and he goes, "Don't y'all realize you've died and gone to hell?" They said, "Well, yeah, Beelzebub, but you took us in the middle of winter, and people don't realize it, but it gets cold in Texas. We're liking this heat. Reminds us of summer." So the devil marches out into the hallway and cranks the thermostat up as hot as it'll go. He goes back in there, and them two Texans are having a barbecue. He says, "What y'all doing now?" They said, "Well, we can't pass up this opportunity with this fine weather to have a barbecue." Satan shakes his head. He goes back out in the hallway, gets to the thermostat and turns it down. It's colder than hell's ever been. Hell freezes over. He goes back in that room, and them two Texans are jumping up and down celebrating. He says, "What on earth are y'all doing now?" They say, "Don't you get it? Hell's froze over. That means the Cowboys just won the Super Bowl."